Welcome, everybody, to Keeba Live. I'm your host, William Lee, podcaster, podcast publisher, and the co-founder of the Disruptors Podcast Network. Have you had an opportunity yet to hear the latest scam that TikTok has done to us? I've talked about different shows, and I've talked about different things concerning TikTok. That is the channel where they started out with video, just video, wild stuff like feed an alligator to the neighbor's child, or burn your house down while you're taking a video picture of the people trying to get out on the second floor, or smack your teacher in the head while somebody's videotaping. Oh, the list goes on, and whatever the child's imagination could come up with, or a young adult, it was on TikTok. Because you see, TikTok has really picked up the pace. Now let's speed back a little bit. Let's wind back a little bit and talk about President Trump. When he was president in office, there was a controversy over TikTok, and that controversy was that TikTok is generated and monitored out of China. Oh, that's right, folks. The servers were in China. Trump was having a kind of a bad day with China, I guess you could say, but he got tired of them spying on us and some of the other opportunities that they might have with this wonderful TikTok platform. I mean, this was the end for the kids. Now, you would say to yourself, wait a minute, we have YouTube. It's been around forever. Well, YouTube required a whole different setup on its platform to be able to produce quality videos. Now, TikTok, they figured out how to do it with just your TikTok camera, as I call it, which is your cell phone. And the things you could do, the younger generation absolutely was astounded. And they've done some really horrendous things. One of them is which is in one of my podcasts when we talk about smack a teacher in the head. Isn't that great? Smack a teacher in the head. I guess that was fun time for everybody because the camera phone would be turned on. The student would slowly slip up behind the teacher and then, out of nowhere, smack in the back of the head. This caused a little bit of conversation with the teachers, of course, and in some cases, in some schools, it caused the young man or woman who smacked the teacher in the head to be charged with assault charges and hauled to jail. TikTok really thought that was marvelous, I guess, because since then they have broken all sorts of records. Now, Trump tried to put this down and saying that, okay, if you're going to have TikTok, it's going to be run in the United States by a group that can be monitored in the United States. Oh, yeah, TikTok said, well, nah. And then all of a sudden they came up with a brilliant idea of moving some of their key people from China to the U.S. Now, that's smart thinking. And it didn't mean that they were shutting off the servers or changing anything around. It just meant that they were now two-stepping the wonderful TikTok to China. And that would go around all the controversy. Well, folks, there's nothing but controversy. TikTok is what I call the Craigslist of video stupidity. And it has broken records as far as arrests are concerned. It has broken records as far as fatalities are concerned. And the list grows every day. But let me tell you the latest, because this is brilliant of TikTok. You see, the TikTok folks found a way through another gentleman who had done some videos on TikTok, found a way that you could steal the newer Kia automobiles, certain years, and Hyundai cars. Isn't that wonderful? Without a key. Oh, that's right. You could do it without a key electronically and open the door, start the car, and drive off. Well, just recently, Seattle City Attorney filed a federal lawsuit, in fact, it was this week, against Hyundai and Kia in a range of surge of vehicle thefts exploding all over Pierce County and King County with a technique that was widely shared on social media. That's right, good old social media. Isn't that interesting? And people say social media people aren't watching it. Well, here's what they came up with. Certain models that were manufactured between 2011 and 2021 are much higher risk for theft due to the lacking of an engine-immobilizer device. Now, the thieves can start the car without a physical key. Thanks to TikTok, you can see a video on how to do this. The thefts surged nationwide in recent months, and after the video went viral on social media apps like TikTok, showing how to steal cars by using a accessible manner, hey, you could steal any type of Hyundai in those years or any type of Kia in those years. Now, the Seattle attorney, Ann Davison, filed the suit Monday in federal court, arguing that both manufacturers neglected to make meaningful action to address a public safety issue. According to Davison's office, thefts of Kia, and all those vehicles within that range of the Hyundai series in those years, the theft rate had surged 363%. In the Emerald City, it was 503% increase between 2021 and 2022. Now, Hyundai and Kia, chose to cut the customers out because, well, we're going to cut a few corners, and we're not going to worry about these things to cut costs and the expense to their customers simply by deleting that particular technology in the vehicle. As a result, our police officers are forced to tackle a huge risk of what we call ridiculous vehicle theft. Related problems are already stretched our resources out to the maximum, and now Seattle taxpayers shoulder the burden of the increasement of theft of these automobiles. The Seattle Police Department has sounded an alarm in August in taking a look at the thefts of different vehicles. After arresting teens that were subject to several Kia thefts, the police said one of the young spectators told investigators he learned how to steal cars from TikTok. Isn't that wonderful? Watch that TikTok. You can learn everything on TikTok. It's not just Seattle. Last month, Pierce County Sheriff reported 39 vehicles stolen in a single day, and nearly half of those were Kia and Hyundai models that were known to have these non-corrections made in their ignition systems. Well, the Seattle officials say that the vehicles stolen have been used to facilitate other crimes, whether it's involved in crashes, high-speed pursuits, and chases. Most of the Seattle thefts occur around the Hilltop area. The city also pointed out a case just a few weeks ago prior where the teens were accused of stealing two vehicles and rob a man in Ballard, then fled south into Federal Way, which they were finally apprehended. The Seattle Police Department has a huge increase in theft these months, from 48 reported thefts of, that's right, Hyundais and Kias in a rate of about 197 stolen in December. 64% of these vehicles recovered within city limits, which shows that mostly are being taken for short periods of time, often in the order and reasoning to commit crimes and other incidences of car thefts. Now, the lawsuit seeking damages from Hyundai and Kia and asking the courts to compel the auto manufacturers to a rebate due to the factor of failure to install anti-theft technology. Well, meanwhile, TikTok just blossoms. Millions of people have seen this and spread it throughout social media. So if you have a car in a question of those years, a Hyundai or a Kia, may I strongly suggest that you check it out and make sure that there is a device that kills the ignition so they can't take a screwdriver and a USB cord and start your car and drive off with it within 2 to 3 minutes or less. Just a lesson from TikTok that you can really use. I don't know, TikTok has done so many things on the record books that I'm in favor of shutting them down. I understand that there is no rhyme nor reason for anybody in the world of social media, especially myself, who uses and believes in podcasting, to make such a statement. Now, there's no governing bodies on podcasting, as we know. Certain countries that are communist countries shut it off and on the internet by a flip of the switch when there's something said that they don't want the civilization to hear. But we don't have that over here. And TikTok, well, we should have an off and on switch for them. Maybe we do. Maybe if the parents start watching what the kids are doing and start asking questions about the TikTok and checking the actual platform themselves, maybe then the switch will get turned off. Like many platforms, TikTok is going to have its day in court. And some of the other officiants of platform production are going to take a real deep look at how TikTok was put together. You know, TikTok and many of the platforms are based on how many people watch. In other words, if it's a good TikTok or video situation, then it adds kind of a interesting twist because the more viewers that platform gets, the more money they can really wring out of the general marketing community of big companies. And that's where the action starts. So if you're starting your social media career as an influencer, TikTok may be the place for you. Video is a very strong port to find on our social media platforms. It's a port that opens up the door to influencers, to individuals that create ideas and build relationships. But I sincerely hope, as a podcaster, that these people that are influencers will start thinking first about influencing their viewers to common sense ideas, theories, and advancements that make this country great, not to the idea of how to rob or disrespect others. You know, it's a dangerous field, social media. Why? Because it affects so many, and so many are engaged in social media in one factor or another. You can either be a podcaster such as myself, or a vlogger, which is video podcasting, like Joe Rogan, or you can just be a good old boy that wants to just talk about maybe your race car or his race car, or other subjects that come up throughout our daily lives. But one thing we must remember here in America, this is a free service and we're not being taxed. We can use the internet for the benefit of communicating with people all the way around the world without any stipulations, without any governor or government stepping in and telling us what we can or cannot say or do. And maybe that's dangerous because, well, TikTok seems to be stretching that to the ultimate limits. Help us. Help everyone on social media by simply passing the word to use common sense and good taste and influence people in the right American way, not in the TikTok, foul, destructive way. Well, thanks a lot for listening. I appreciate everybody that comes on each week to listen to my show. And if you have comments about the show, here's how you can get a hold of me. Simply email me at Keeba, that's Keeba, agency, @gmail.com. Or check us out on the web at keepasmiling.com. Thanks so much for being with me today, and I hope that you'll be with us next week when we talk about the Nichols killing and how it's going to affect law enforcement in our great nation. Until then, remember, keep a clear view in your mind of positivity, love in your heart for your neighbor, and believe me, you'll always keep a smiling.